The guy is, he just can't understand.
Oh, goodness.
And one of the things you must appreciate in all of this is that a lot of schools are also preparing. Yes, and look, I say this all the time. Yes, you would learn a lot of things, but on the day, some things may not work for you. Yeah,
so a lot of schools are preparing to do what?
To win.
Okay.
Not only St. Augustine's, commissioning a science and maths quiz center.
Yes.
No, other schools have prepared too.
It's good. It's good though.
And
quality goes up.
yes, and today, Qatar Senior Secondary School, Qatasco, is in the final, and it's been coming. It's been coming over the past 3 years. They've always been in the semi-finals, and I went to Maoli School, but I must say that currently, if you're looking for the best school in the Volta region, it's Qatasco. They have it. They're doing very well.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it. That's the evidence right there for you. So, St. Augustine's College, Jimmy Cliff has a song. You can get it if you really want, but you must try. Try and try. You succeed at last.
We've already succeeded twice. But we will return. Ogasco shall return. Kamepe. We'll return before Maoli does. Anyway, the news review is brought to you by First Atlantic Bank. Refreshingly different. IAS Ghana, absolutely positively the best on the market. And Compu Ghana, passion for technology.
Well, let's start with the daily graphic for today. And embrace tax measures, Finance Minister appeals to Ghanaians. And so, the Finance Minister, Ken Ofeta, has been, appealing to Ghanaians to accept the tax measures in the 2022 budget as a rallying call to contribute their quota to nation building. He says that while Ghana's developmental needs are enormous, its resources were meager, making it difficult for the government to provide adequate and sustainable development. And he mentioned, entrepreneurship, job creation, and the provision of critical infrastructure such as roads, hospitals, schools, and utilities as some of the areas of development that had suffered due to the inadequacy of government financing. Now, the finance minister is right when he says we need to fund our development. But the question you ask also is, must we fund our development by consistently introducing taxes? Now, these are indirect taxes. Over the period, government has consistently talked about, widening the tax net. There are many people who earn income in this country and just don't pay taxes on it. The question is, how are we ensuring that these persons pay taxes? There was one thing, the MPP said when they were in opposition. They said, "Yetisikaso, so and they were right. They were so right, and I've always referenced the letter of April 2015 written by Anthony Doku that said we lose an estimated 36 billion Ghana cedis at the ports.
Every year?
36, yes. We lost that in 2014. So the point is, how much more have we lost? How much has been lost to the state through irregularities in the Auditor General's report? These are things we should be thinking about. Not long ago, the information minister said, certain monies due the state, are not being paid to the state. The question is, how do we ensure these funds are paid to the state? Let us not always look for the easy way out. And as Professor Bob King said, it's like a lazy man's approach to solving a problem. We always look for the easy way out. So, yes, as people send Momo a lot these days. Let's go and tax it. There are a lot of merchant payments using debit cards. Let's go and tax it. Let us think outside the box, because if care is not taken, we're going to get people flooding the banking halls. Because today we are saying that bank transfers are not part. A lot of people are actually conversant with the internet banking. So they'll be moving to the banking halls because they want to go and deposit monies into people's accounts.
Yeah.
Let us begin to find out ways. We're talking about people being known to tax authorities. We've said that is increased from 4% to 86%. The next step is to ensure that we're able to monitor earnings and tax appropriately.
You see, the thing is that you're right. We haven't done enough to close to block the leakages. Yet we want to collect more. So we've got a leaking basket and we want to pour more water into it. And it's unfortunate because, look, I think we can now comfortably accept that the government, this one and the previous one, have no idea how to ensure that people pay tax on what they earn. They don't know how to do it. If they did, they would have done it by now, because that is a far bigger problem. It is a far bigger pot to fill. It is a far bigger leakage to block than, just as Professor Bokpin would say, lazily throwing out an indirect tax, for everybody to pay. You see, we are making a certain mistake. We are implementing capitalist taxation policies in an economy that is still very socialist. And the mismatch will hurt us. It will. Because we don't yet have that capacity to just make more money so that the tax that we're paying doesn't hurt us as much. We don't. Look across the country. Look, when you close down toll booths, look at what Ghanaians were asking you. Where am I going to get? Where am I going to earn a living? Because they don't. They are not yet at that point where they can, they can figure out how to just make more, gain more revenue when one stream fails. We are not yet there. Everybody still seems to rely heavily on government to provide them with a living, but we're not taxing as such. It's a pity. It's a pity.
And let me just continue with the Daily Graphic. And Asabi leaves SIGA to focus on NPP chairmanship. So he says at the end of the year, he's going to step aside and focus on becoming chairman of the governing NPP. Boss takes delivery of 5,400 pipes for expansion. And we're told that, these pipes are for expansion works on its petroleum lines from Tema to Akosombo. Newmont Foundation completes 127 projects in Ahafo region.
Okay, let me do the finder. Banner headline this morning, e-levy, finer details emerge. And then it's got a subheading, it applies to total value of transactions after free 100 Ghana cedis. Wait, does that mean you get 100 Ghana cedis free per day or free 100 Ghana cedis per transaction?
Per day.
Okay, it's not very clear here.
Yeah, when John Kumar was here, he was very categorical that if you go beyond 100 Ghana cedis a day, the remaining transactions would attract the levy.
Not so clear from the headline, but I'm sure the story has the rest of the detail. President supports Hearts of Oak with 1 million Ghana cedis to play in CAF Confederation Cup. Mamavi will be happy about that. 2022 budget is a response to the call for jobs, and that's the information minister speaking. Ecobank donates 100 laptops to KNUST to support less privileged students, also on the front page of the Finder.
Well, that bit about the president supporting Hearts of Oak, yes, it's good, but as a sustainable master, our league clubs always move to the government begging for support when they have to take part in continental competitions.
What's the opportunity cost? What are we giving up in order to fund some of these things?
So the point is, can't our league clubs, and I've seen now that lots of partnership between the National Lottery Authority, Hearts of Oak, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. How about sponsorship from other places? Must it be government always coming to the aid of Accra, Hearts of Oak, Kumasi Asante Kotoko when they're taking part in these competitions? What are their marketing teams and sales team doing? Anyway, let's get to the... go to other jurisdictions. They're paying players very well, and they have lots of sponsors. Today, African companies would want to go and sponsor leagues in England. What are we doing? Let's get to the Ghanaian Observer. And failure to approve 2022 budget will spell doom for Ghana. Majority warns minority. 2022 budget response to calls for jobs, Information Minister. Energy Minister praises petroleum downstream operators. Hungarian government delegation commends Jospon Group. And KGL Group fully committed to delivering over 100 million Ghana cedis to support the national economy and government yearly.
Let's do the daily guide. I'm number 2, Bagbin declares. And the details are on page 3. Afeomoni extols Western Group. Ijra police break robbery ring. And MPs clash over 2022 budget. Lots of stories in the papers about that. Finally, Africa's first sciatica research center. Is it Sciastica? I see Sciastica here. I'm not sure what that is. Research Center opens in Accra. Let's look on the back for some sports stories. I eat bananas a lot. Afinajan admits after Mourinho boots reward. Kotoko face Kempong Academy today. African Games LOC launches subcommittees. And Goyle and Ghana Free Zones, Betborough partner. Goyle, Ghana Free Zones, and Betborough partner MTN Swag Awards, and that does it.
But I'm very interested in Alban Bagbin's.
I am number 2.
I've listened to the audio saying that when he said he was number 3, some of his friends at the Supreme Court actually called him and said, you are actually the second most powerful person in the country. So not number two as in the hierarchy, because after the president there's the vice president, before the speaker, and then the chief justice. But when it comes to power, because he's the speaker of parliament, he wields a lot of power. But I think that it's also parliament as an institution that has that power. He is the speaker of parliament, and parliament has so much power. I'm happy that for the first time we have a speaker who's not from the governing party, and so all things being equal, a lot of things must change. Parliament has so much power, and I don't know if you've seen the video in the British Parliament when the speaker told Boris Johnson to sit down.
Yes.
That you are the prime minister, but when you come to this house, I am in charge.
Yeah.
That's democracy.
I actually sent that clip to Alban Bagbin.
Oh, okay. That's democracy. And as we talk about democracy, Parliament has a lot of power, and Parliament has oversight responsibility over the executive. They should be doing that. Parliament should be doing that.
So you can tell that this is the vision that he has. Otherwise, why is he even telling us these things? Why is he even saying these things, that he's the second most powerful? Like, why does he need to tell us? It's because he really wants Ghanaians to think of it that way. Perhaps not even for his benefit, but for the benefit of Parliament. So that even after he is gone, Parliament will assume a certain position of prominence, which it is supposed to have, but just never has. So you can tell that he really wants the strength of Parliament to be manifest. But sometimes there are questions about how he attempts to make that happen.
One of the things I'd love to see, now that Parliament has started debating the budget and they're talking about, burden sharing. They've talked about certain procurements even within Parliament. You've heard Kweku Kwarteng make that comment that, in Parliament, these procurements of diaries and everything, of what value are these? I've also heard Kizzel Atuforsen make the point that he's prepared, to forfeit his ex gratia, but of course the executive must lead the way. Look, I'm looking forward to Parliament going through the budget, looking at some recurrent expenditure and telling the executive, you don't need this. So we're not going to approve this for you. It is not everything that must be approved. So the committees that are going to be looking at, the respective ministries, departments, and agency budget should do a thorough job, look at it, and then say, look, we do not think you need this amount of money because you want to buy this, you want to buy that. In sharing the burden, we don't need all of these things. We must begin to thoroughly examine the things the executive wants to do.
That's what
and Parliament, as the controller of the purse, must begin to also check how these things are spent. And so as part of the oversight responsibility, they must make the executive account for the approvals that were given to them the current fiscal year, find out what it has been used for. Was it used judiciously? If it wasn't used judiciously, you must begin to get them to answer questions and then pay the appropriate sanctions. Let me get to the Daily Statesman finally. And those against 2022 budget must repent. Kweku Kwarteng warns of dire consequences if not approved. And 2020 budget answers job issue for Youth Information Minister. Huawei Rebecca Foundation take fintech training to rural areas. The pronunciation of Huawei, sometimes if you're not careful, you go and say Huawei and it becomes a problem. And KGL were poised to give government over 100 million annually. And the back page, lots of...
Apparently, if you want to say it the way, the natives say it, is Huawei.
Let's get to our online news review brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy and Enterprise Life. No matter how much you make for a living, Enterprise Life has life solutions carefully crafted for you. Enterprise Life, your advantage.
Here's what Zenith Bank is up to these days. You can pay for all Government of Ghana fees and charges the easy way with Zenith Bank. You want to know how? Just go to ghana.gov. Sign up for the ghana.gov service. Follow the prompts to generate an invoice. Then just go and make your payment at any Zenith Bank branch across the country. Or you could dial star 966 star 3 star 111 hash. Was that complicated? Star 966 star 3 star 111 hash. or just go to Zenith Bank's corporate internet banking platform and do it that way. Payment of your taxes, business levies, land registration fees, passport application fees, and National Service Administrative levies is easy with Zenith Bank. Think payments? Think Zenith. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
And Goal has good news for you, because Goal is rewarding its prepaying Go Card customers with 2 pesos discount per liter on fuels. You also enjoy discount on lubricants at Goal stations nationwide. Elevate your goodness by joining Goal Go Club today and enjoy up to 3 pesos per liter discount on fuel. Amazing discount on lubricant purchases. Free life insurance cover provided by My Life Insurance. Accrue and contribute loyalty points to a social group to fund an approved CSR project. And above all, enjoy exclusive Goal branded campaign gifts. Join the Goal Club by visiting Goal stations or offices, Goal website, that's registration.goal.com.gh, and all Goal social media platforms. Individuals, corporate, family, and social groups, join the Goal Club now. Goal Good Energy, Goal Yaya Dim.
All right, so let's see what's online. MyJoyOnline.com has a bunch of stories, including this one. I don't know the whereabouts of one of my sons, and that is Kofi Amwabing, who was speaking on Joy Prime a couple of days ago. Ghana's economy is suffering from an unfortunate condition. That's Kasil Atuforsen speaking in Parliament. I advise National Security Minister not to make details of Akufo-Addo's foreign trips public. And that's Brian Achampong taking the responsibility for the fact that we don't know how much it costs the president to travel. Details of Prempeh College's victory in advancing to the final stage. Failing to pay regulators huge sums of money results in collapse of companies, and that is Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum. BBC News now, brought to you by Fidelity Bank, Believe with Us, and Sethi Brothers.